So I already know that after July, my reading, my TBR is gonna be pretty much set in stone for the next 2 months because Booker season's coming up and I'm planning on reading all of the Booker nominated awards this year. So I thought it could be fun to maybe be a little bit more creative for how I am choosing my July TBR in preparation for that. And also as a way to work on the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do, or HRCYED. Hi, my name is Sarah Freshly and welcome back to Freshly Read Books. So HRCYED, if you haven't heard yet, it is a year-long reading challenge that is meant to be the hardest reading challenge on BookTube, basically. And as somebody who pays a lot of attention to BookTube challenges, I would say that it is indeed the hardest one. This is made by Stephanie from the channel Cordy. So links in the description. And actually this month is officially the start of version 2. I am doing a combo of version 1 and version 2, and I'm giving myself 15 months to do it using the end date of version 2. And the challenge is basically a bingo board full of prompts that you have to complete before the end of the year. You haven't seen my updates from June yet at this point. So what you're seeing here is actually my board updated through May. But if I come across things where it's relevant, then I'll say where I'm actually at within that prompt, because I'm obviously not gonna read something that I've already read for. So what I've done is thrown the HRCYED reading prompts onto a wheel, and I'm going to spin the wheel and get one of those prompts, and then I need to pick a book from my TBR to match it. Ideally for my TBR. It might not always be possible, but hopefully, that's where I'll stop first. If I can't find anything that matches, then I'll figure out something else. Also, sometimes the spin of the wheel might lead to spinning another wheel depending on what the prompt is. For example, if we got the rainbow prompt, then I would spin another wheel with the colors of the rainbow that I have left to read. And then from there, I would choose what book matches the color that I get. I'm gonna be spinning this wheel 7 times. I would do 8, but actually I realized that the 8th slot on my TBR, I am reserving for a book that is published in July. For me, that's gonna be House of Beth by Carrie Cullen, which I honestly can't remember. I was given an arc of this like 6 months ago, like so long ago. And I don't remember, I mean, they gave me the option and I said yes, because I liked the sound of the synopsis, but I don't remember for the life of me what it's about. So I'm just gonna read it to you real quick. After a heart-wrenching breakup with her girlfriend and a shocking incident at her job, Cassie flees her life as an overworked assistant in New York for her hometown in New Jersey along the Delaware. There, she reconnects with her high school best friend Eli, now a widowed father of 2. Their bond reignites, and within a few short months, Cassie is married to Eli, living in his house in the woods, homeschooling the kids, and getting to know her reserved neighbor Joan. But Cassie's fresh start is less idyllic than she hoped. She grapples with harm OCD, her mind haunted by gory, graphic images, and she's afraid that she'll never measure up to Eli's late spouse, who was a committed homemaker and a traditional wife. No matter what Cassie does, Beth's shadow still permeates every corner of their home. Okay, yeah. I'm super on board with this again, and actually I'm already seeing some prompts that this could fit for. That one's set in stone, that is on the TBR. So now we're gonna make at least 7 spins past that. Okay, so here's our beautiful wheel, and this has all of our HRCYED prompts with the exception of 3. One of them is obviously the reading a new release in every month, because we're pulling that book already. That's House of Beth. And then the second one I haven't put on there is the webcomic, because I'm already working on that one in the background. I'm going to continue to do so going forward, so it didn't feel right to put it on the wheel. Oh, and also award season. That's the other one that I haven't put on there, because obviously I'm gonna be reading the Booker books. I'm going to surpass the 7 books needed, so I don't need to be adding any more books now. And then there are 2 prompts that I'm really hoping don't come up, or 2 spots on the wheel that I'm hoping don't come up. One of them is the 24-hour challenge, because I don't want to do a 24-hour challenge this month. It would be nice to just cross that off, and I know that if I land on this, that means I'll just be crossing it off this month, which would be cool, but I don't feel like doing it right now. And then the add a spin one, which isn't a prompt on the bingo board, but I just thought it could be fun to spice things up a little bit and add it on here. So there's a chance that I'll have more than 8 books on my TBR, and I'll be doing more than 7 spins. Okay, now let's go ahead, spin 1. This is one of the easiest ones to hit. Okay. Just because well, I guess it depends on what letter we get. Okay, I need to quickly make another wheel for our prompt here. Okay, so I'm just going with the default theme for our wheel here, but I've got all of the letters from the alphabet on there with the exception of U, because I did use The Fall of the House of Usher for my U. I haven't actually decided fully where everything goes for June, but I don't think I've added anymore. So yeah, well, let's see what letter I get. This could either be like insanely easy or not at all. I do have books I'm hoping to be able to fit to prompts this month too. N. I'm not immediately certain, but let's figure it out. Okay, so a book that has N in it. That doesn't give me a lot to go off of, but that also means that it leaves room for me to read something that I didn't think I would be able to read this month. I think I've decided. I think I'm gonna go with The Measure by Nikki Erlich. So the N would be N for Nikki. Basically, this one's about like waking up, you go outside your front door, and then there's a small wooden box waiting there for you. And in your box, you find out the exact number of years you're going to live. But it all like happens at the same time. So it's like, what does everybody do with that information? I've heard great things about this. And it's also one of the books that I got off of Facebook Marketplace, meaning it's one of my garage sale books, because that prompt, you don't really have to do books from a garage sale, but some way that you're like buying it secondhand, like from an individual. And so this would count for that, which also, you know, helps. So I think this is what I'm gonna use for my N book. Okay, next spin of the wheel. Okay, I'm actually really happy about getting this. This could be so good for me. So the series Stairway is like a stairway of the books of like the length of series that you have to read. So at the bottom rung is just a standalone novel. So that would be the easiest option from here. Then we have a duology, a trilogy, and a quartet or more. So it doesn't technically have to be a quartet. I think that I know what I'm gonna be reading for each of these. The duology is the one I'm least sure about, but I have one that I'm gonna try out at least for the duology. So, okay, let's see. But if I get Standalone, that would be so easy. I almost don't want to get, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't speak. I was just about to say, I almost don't want to get Standalone. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was really hoping for a quartet with that one because I really need to read the first book of my quartet. I believe it was on my TBR like a month ago and I still haven't read it, so. And honestly, even my trilogy book, I have to, okay, it's fine. It's fine. We'll do Standalone. It'll be super easy and I can use one of my other books that I have to read this month to fulfill it. Okay, the easiest prompt. Just to read a Standalone book. So simple. I feel like this is being like way too nice to me so far. Like N and Standalone, come on. But I ended up deciding to go with Martyr because this is my Patreon book club pick for July. So I really wanted to get this one on the list anyways. And it's a standalone book, so I can do it. This is about a guy that's like obsessed with being a martyr. His mother's plane was shot down over the skies of the Persian Gulf in a senseless accident, and his father's life in America was circumscribed by his work killing chickens at a factory farm in the Midwest. Cyrus, our main character, is a drunk, an addict, and a poet whose obsession with martyrs leads him to examine the mysteries of his past. I've been really excited about reading this one for quite some time now, and obviously I was gonna read it this month anyways, so very happy to be able to get this on the list. Okay, next spin. Okay, I was gonna say, if we actually get Series Stairway again around the world. Okay, this prompt is to read a book from every, it's either that the book is set or the author's from every continent. And technically Antarctica is on the list, but it's as a bonus. It's not, you don't like actually have to do it, but also I kind of want to, and I think it'd be funny if it was on our wheel. So I'm gonna put it there and we're just gonna see what happens. Okay, we've got the wheel. Let's find out. Basically, I'm happy with anything but Antarctica, which I fully acknowledge that I put on there. Like I did this to myself. Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna have to do some looking up for this one. Okay, so I've been doing some research for my Antarctica book. And it is kind of hilarious because I do technically have a book that does apparently go to Antarctica at some point, because this is the first book that comes up when you look up books set in Antarctica. This is the book that comes up. And I just did a try a chapter on my Patreon. This is one of the like extra books I did outside of the 16 that I read like for my actual channel, and I decided to unhaul it. So I was like, am I really going to like actually read that now? Or is there something else I can do? So I did some Googling, and it turns out there is actually something else on my TBR that would work for this. And I'm so happy to have found it, because I was literally thinking like, maybe I'll choose between that and like a book I don't own and like leave it up to you all to vote for me. But in a shocking turn of events, there is a novel within Edgar Allan Poe's works that does happen, or at least part of it takes place in Antarctica. And I was hoping to read it at some point this year anyway. I know, we're very pleased. So that is the narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym, I think it's what it's called, but I believe that the story is like a mystery set in Antarctica, based off of what little bits that I saw on Goodreads. It's also, I think, like the longest thing that exists in this book, because it is like an actual novel. So yeah, that's on the list for this month. And now we have a mystery in our hands. So I feel like that's good too. I feel like the lighting is going crazy because of the time of day that I'm filming this, but we're rolling with it. So let's go ahead and do our fourth spin. Okay, genre challenge. I don't know what I haven't done yet. I'm gonna have to look at this for a second, because I think there's some that I've done in June that would count towards it. So there's actually only 3 genres that I haven't read yet as a part of this challenge, which is literary fiction, sci-fi, and romance. I'm already planning on reading a literary fiction book this month, so that would be good. But in my heart, I want to get romance, because there was a book that I started in my Tria chapter that was really good, and I really want to read it this month. So that's what I'm hoping for. I mean, I wouldn't mind sci-fi. Like, sci-fi is one of my most read genres. I love sci-fi, and so is literary fiction. Romance is honestly oddly the odd one out, but just because I just started that book, I really want to read it. Okay, everybody cross your fingers for romance. I don't think I'm getting it. Am I? I thought it was going too fast. Yes. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Okay, this is great news. I already know what I'm picking for this. Okay, so I clearly already know what I want to do for this prompt. It's the Spanish love deception. This was such a win for my Tria chapter video. I was so excited to read it right away. So this I did find in a little library, and I like vaguely heard of it before, and so I picked it up, but then I was unsure, but it does have 2 of my favorite tropes, which is fake dating, especially when you have to go to a wedding for it, and also enemies to lovers, which I think it is, or rivals to lovers, I don't know. This follows Lena, who needs a date to go to her sister's, I think it's her sister's, yes, her sister's wedding in Spain. And this guy that she like doesn't like at work is like, I'll do it. And the first chapter was like so ridiculous and fun that it made me just really excited for the whole book. So this is definitely my pick for this category. Okay, let's go ahead for spin number 5. No, yeah, cool. No, that's fine. Okay. No, it's fine. I'm fine. I mean, it's not like it's a real, like, you don't have to read for 24 hours straight. That's not, the goal is just to see how much you can read in 24 hours. But as soon as you fall asleep, like, that's it for the challenge, it's over. And so it's not that big of a deal. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I guess then let's just spin again. I don't have to pick any books for that, right? Well, maybe I will talk about like what I'm thinking of reading for the 24-hour challenge. The 24-hour reading challenge. I still haven't fully accepted that is happening this month. So I don't know if I want to make it to where it like is the books that are already on my TBR for this month. Because I was thinking when this came around, I was going to do one of 2 things. And that was either going to be read as much of Narnia as I could, the Narnia books, or read as much of the Series of Unfortunate Events books as I could. I have all of the Narnia books on my bookshelf, and it is within my 100 books bucket list poster. There are a few series that are on that poster, and this is one of them. So it would be nice to get that done. And also it would be a lot of books off of my TBR, which would be pretty cool. They're over there. You can see them. And then the series of unfortunate events I've been slowly kind of collecting as I find them in used bookstores, but I definitely don't have all of them yet. But if I could get them from the library, that's the one I more want to, just because like I like that series. Additionally, I do have a library book that I would love to read this month, so maybe that would be a good time for that because it is a thriller. So I feel like that's a good one for like 24-hour reading challenge. Plus I have these two books that I don't think that I'll be able to fit in anywhere else on the prompts. They could be good to do there. I don't know. Maybe I'll do something like that where it's like the books I couldn't fit in otherwise. Anyways, those are my thoughts for the 24-hour reading challenge. Okay, spin number 6. Oh, I forgot to take the 24-hour challenge off of there. Okay, no, I get it. I get it. I'm gonna do it. Let me remove it this time because I can't get that one again. Oh, bright side, I'll be finishing a square for sure in July. And that does feel good. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Now let's do my actual spin number 6. Man, the wheel really wanted me to do that challenge. Okay. This feels better. I feel happier in this space. Okay, so the prompts that I have left from the queer rainbow are lesbian, bisexual / pansexual, trans, intersex, asexual, non-binary, and gender fluid. I don't actually know what I want to get for this one. There's some that I know what I'm going to pick and some that I don't know what I'm gonna pick, and I'm gonna have to like look into it. But I don't think I want to get intersex right now because I think I know the book I want to read for it and I don't want to read it this month. I would rather read that like later into the year, but we'll see what the wheel says. Gender fluid. Okay, this is one of the ones that I don't know what I'm gonna read for it. So, okay, I'm excited to like look into this one. I don't think, at least that I know of, I don't think that there's anything on my shelf that would currently fit this. So I might just have to buy a book, which I'm perfectly happy with. Can you tell? Can you tell I'm perfectly happy to do that? Okay, another one that is taking quite a bit of research, but I think I figured it out. I think I figured out what I want to do for this one. So this is the gender fluid prompt. And there is an author that I've been meaning to try out for a long time that has a book that has gender fluidity, and it's actually kind of older. It was originally published in 1969. The book that I'm thinking for this one is The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin. This author is a famous sci-fi author, like a classic sci-fi author, and a lot of people have been talking about her and like talking about her books in my live shows. I feel like she's come up quite a few times, which has made me super want to try out her writing. And so I feel like this is a great opportunity, and I didn't have anything that I could find on my bookshelves already, like that I just already owned, that did include a gender fluid character. The Left Hand of Darkness follows Genly AI. I don't know how it's pronounced, if it's actually pronounced like AI or if it's, you get it. An envoy from the Ekamen, an interplanetary alliance. Ai's mission is to persuade the nations of Gethen, a frigid planet inhabited by androgynous humans, to join the Ekamen's trade network. The Gethenians are unique in that they shift between masculine and feminine traits during monthly estrus periods, meaning they can be mothers or fathers at different times. I feel like that sounds so cool. So I think that this is going to be my pick. It technically is the 4th book of a series, but Ursula K. Le Guin said herself that like, you can read them in any order, that there's like some like connections between the two, but there's not like really like it's not like in a chronological order. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. So I'm taking her word for it. I usually have a hard time even still like doing this, but I feel like this is just such a perfect time to try out her writing that I've got to. Okay, so I think that this is gonna be my last spin, which is very exciting. Here we go. As long as I don't land on add a spin, this is my last spin. Oh, I kind of want to stay on become the avatar. Yes. Okay. I didn't want to get the alphabet again. That's not as fun. So for the avatar prompt, this is basically that you have to read a book that represents each of the 4 elements, like Avatar: The Last Airbender. So I've done water already, which means I have earth, wind, and fire left. Let's go ahead and spin this. I don't know what I would pick for a lot of these, actually. For any of these, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. Okay, wind. I had no preference. How does one represent wind on a book cover? This is gonna be interesting. Okay, last prompt, and I'm a little torn. So, one book that I have to read this month is The Kite Runner. This is my TBR spin pick for July, and you might not immediately think that you see wind here, but there's a kite, which inherently means there has to be wind, right? Like, so there's wind on this cover just because you can't like see it because there's no like lines that like show there's wind. There's wind, right? My other option, which I think like really is clear, is Less is Lost, because like you can see like his tie and his suit jacket being blown in the wind. So I feel like the wind you can really see in this one, but I already have to read this one this month. Yeah, a kite means there's wind. If you could just let me know in the comments that you agree with me, that would be great. Because I'm clearly having a hard time just like trusting myself with this one and that this makes sense. So this one I've actually already started because I always start my TBR spin books during the TBR spin live sprints, which happen every month, just before the start of the next month, like maybe a week or two before the start of the next month. So far in the book, like I don't know the full synopsis. And also this book does not come with a synopsis on the back or like in the front cover. I assume just because like this is such a popular book that like everybody knows by now. But from what I can tell, it's about Hassan and Amir. Amir's more like our protagonist, but we do get like just a lot of these two friends throughout. So I'm assuming that we at least have Amir through the whole book. I'm hoping we have Hassan through the whole book because I like their friendship, even though there are some differences between the two of them that keep them, and like keep Amir in particular, from fully feeling like Hassan is his best friend, even though he definitely is. But this is like set at like during the collapse of the Afghanistan monarchy, and then when there's like a bunch of Taliban refugees there and everything. So, and then also I think that a big part of it is meant to be the father-son relationship between Amir and his father, who we've already gotten to see quite a bit of, and I'm curious to see like how that develops. But yeah, that's this. I think that it works for wind, and I think I'm gonna use it. These are the picks for my TBR for this month, and then this also includes House of Beth and the Ursula Le Guin book, the something of Hand of Darkness. I don't know, but I'm actually really pleased with how well this worked out. And there are a lot of books on here that I'm excited for. There are books on here that I already had to read. There's some that aren't on here that I'm probably gonna read anyway, but we'll see. And I think we'll be making good progress towards the HRCYED challenge in July, which is the overarching goal. So thank you so much for joining me for this. Let me know if you are participating in HRCYED or some similar challenge. Literally anytime somebody comments a challenge that they're participating in, I'm like, do I wanna participate in that too? But I think I'm gonna know until after Booker season is over, and I'm open again to some different book challenges besides the like year-long ones I'm already doing. Other than that, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.